Hello everyone, this is day 2. I am not in my first setup from day 1 because today is a very busy day for me and I found that I can only record this from my phone and I don't have my laptop, so I can't make progress on the notes, but I will add the notes tomorrow about what I am trying to make progress on today. So I spoke last time about how I think the artificial intelligence has to be more principled and to develop a project of artificial intelligence based on reasoning how the system works in order to improve it. Um, there is I want to give one more reason about why I think this should be the case. In classical machine learning, generative model learns what inputs get essentially mapped to outputs. It's a lookup table. So even if it is a giant lookup table, a language model can only learn things that have already existed. It cannot innovate, it cannot be creative. It can only create things that have already been created. Some people talk about the AlphaGo system, where there is the Move 37, which has made everyone believe that the system can innovate and discover new ways to play the game of Go. But AlphaGo is a different type of system compared to ChatGPT. AlphaGo does actually search different configurations of the Go game and tries to improve it based on winning the game of Go. On the other hand, generative systems don't have a winning rule, like a simple rule to check that you have won the game of language, the game of asking questions and answering them correctly. There is the reinforcement learning with human feedback. There is a fuzzy way to give some direction to how the output of the system should work, but that model which tells the system you have a good answer or a bad answer is also a learned system. It's not so much directing the system towards creativity, innovation, and actually solving real problems. It's more directing the system into answering how the humans prefer an answer to be formatted. And there is a huge difference between how you deliver an answer and the answer itself. Sure, it's important to deliver the answer in a format that is easy to understand, that's simple, that's using good notations and terms and uh, words that are appropriate for the problem, but you don't have a direction for the answer actually solving the problem that it received. This works with problems that have already been solved, sure. The language model learns problems that have been solved. Again, that's not solving the creativity and innovation problem solving that I would like such systems to have. So the game of Go is not a good argument for believing that language models can be creative or innovative. The language models only learn things that have already been done. Sure, they try words, and if they don't match existing solutions, they discover ways in which they can actually learn ways in which they shouldn't solve a problem. They know a lot about what didn't work until now. They can tell you what didn't work, but they cannot tell you the way in which you can make things work in a problem that it has not yet been solved. In a way, knowing humans learn by making mistakes. You try something, you make a mistake, you try again, you change the way you give the inputs to the system that you try to solve, and avoiding the mistakes that you have already done, eventually you learn the way in which you should do things. Sure, humans learn with fewer examples, but learning all the ways in which it didn't work for language models somehow doesn't make the jump to finding the way it works to solve a new problem. Trying new solutions, humans try new ways to solve a problem, but seems like a language model doesn't know what to try when it has to solve a problem. And that's a key insight into how I would like to proceed in this project. How humans do solve problems, it's not the same way how language models solve problems. Something is missing in language models. Sure, they have extraordinary godlike abilities in some problems that humans cannot solve, like giving it a whole book and asking it to make a summary, and it does it very fast. In a way, that's like a human having a not only very fast ability to read, but also the way in which what you read gets integrated into the summary, the way in which you process informations in your working memory. The working memory of humans is said to have between 4 and 7 items. There are experiments that show you try to remember a list of objects, and if the objects are very different, you can't remember more than probably between 4 and 7. But there are other animals which can remember more. There are experiments with chimpanzees that can remember up to, I think, 20. There are experiments with chimpanzees where they try to remember the order of numbers on a screen, and they can remember many more compared to humans, no matter how much humans try. Maybe if they can train a lot, they can do better than average humans, but chimpanzee seems to be able to do this to a greater number. So this limitation of the working memory of humans compared to a huge working memory of language models has I think it has been the spark to create a different system of thinking in humans, which we don't most of us don't think about it in a conscious way. But I think we should explore this working memory on a problem and trying different solutions until something works, asking the questions that, for example, in software development, it is said that language models are really bad at debugging, and if the code is small, they can debug the system. But in systems like the one I'm working, and everyone is working at big companies, they don't even fit in the context memory of the system, and a language model doesn't know what questions to ask about the code to navigate the source code to arrive to the point where is the problem and find what is the problem. In like software engineers do really quickly because they know what questions should be asked when solving a problem. I think that's enough for now. I will make a list of those ideas and add it to the document we started yesterday. And I didn't yet post it on GitHub. Actually, I didn't upload it. So I am still figuring out a process to create those videos and a process to actually make iterations on this project. Until then, I will also make mistakes and learn the best way to move faster. That's it for today. Have a nice day and see you next time.